bacteria or microbes. Among the forces of meat spoilage, the microbiological forces are the most common and significant and will be our principal concern since microorganisms cause 99.9% of the deteriorative changes in meat. Yun, pinaka-concern talaga sa food processing or meat processing is yung microbial effect. Ganon. Bihira kasi yung talagang nagsisimula sa microbes ang majority ng deterioration. Microbes thrive well in moisture, and since meat is 70 to 75% water, it easily spoils through microbial action. Meat also contains abundant nutrients required for the growth of microorganisms, and as such, is an excellent media for microbial proliferation. So, kumbaga, pag mas mataas ang nutrient content, mas nutritious ang pagkain, marami siyang nutrients. Kumbaga, nutrients para sa tao, nutrients din para sa microorganisms. Oo. Nutrients din nila yun. So, kumbaga, magiging ng growth nila yun. Mas mag-grow sila. Ang growth sa microorganisms, hindi ka pari sa tao o sa hayop na lumalaki tayo. Ang growth ng microorganisms is multiplication. Dumadami sila. Methods of meat preservation, however, different from each other are alike in that they employ environmental conditions that discourage the growth of microorganisms. Microorganisms are like animals. They do not grow unless all their requirements are met. So, ganun. Kumbaga tayo, pag wala tayong calcium, yung mga bones natin apektado. Or kung may kulang tayong nutrient, stunted yung growth natin. So, yung microorganisms, ganun din. I-hinder mo ang isa. Halimbawa, temperature requirement. Ang kailangan niya, normal room temperature. Nilagay mo siya sa freezing condition, mag-i-stop ang growth niya. Pero hindi ibig sabihin na nag-stop ang growth niya is napatay mo siya. Kumbaga, nag-stop lang.
Na-slow down mo lang.
Na-slow down mo siya. Ganun. Pagka binigyan mo siya ng conditions na favorable para sa growth niya, mag-grow ulit siya. Ganun. So, growth inhibition can be achieved by withholding one, two, or all the required conditions for growth, namely temperature requirements, moisture content, nutrient content, and oxygen requirements. So may mga microorganisms na oxygen loving, meron namang mga oxygen hating. So halimbawa, yung mga oxygen loving, nilagay mo sa ang tawag din sa packaging na walang hangin, yun sa vacuum, diba? So, binacuum seal mo siya, hindi siya mag-grow doon. Pero kung siya ay, nag-grow sa yung anaerobic microorganisms. So, ibig sabihin, ang aerobic microorganisms, ibig sabihin, kailangan niya ng oxygen for growth. Anaerobic microorganisms, hindi niya kailangan ng oxygen for growth. So, kung binacuum seal mo siya, ay yun ang favorable condition sa kanya, mas mag-grow siya. So, doon pumapasok yung Clostridium botulinum kasi anaerobic ang Clostridium botulinum. So, kailangan natin gumamit ng preservative na against Clostridium botulinum, lalo na kung gumagamit tayo ng vacuum packaging.
Botulism yun, no?
Botulism. So, majority of the present-day preservation techniques are based on this principle. The two other common causes of meat deterioration or spoilage are enzymatic action and atmospheric oxidation. So, enzymes are protein substances that help to speed up chemical reactions. So, minsan present sila dun sa ating mga ginagamit or sa ating raw material. So, under favorable conditions, may speed up yung reaction. However, since processed meats are commonly subjected to temperatures that inhibit the activity of the meat enzymes, this is not commonly felt in the meat industry. So, hindi threat ang enzymatic action kasi kalimitan, ang temperature na ginagamit natin mababa. Hindi favorable para sa enzymatic action. Pero once na in-expose mo siya sa mataas na temperature, so magkakaroon ng enzymatic action. Meat fats are susceptible to oxidation. So, yung mga taba ng baboy, taba ng baka, mas susceptible sila sa oxidation when they are exposed to the molecular oxygen present in the air. This results in the production of a strong rancid flavor and odor. So, alam mo yun, yung maanta, which we commonly refer to as maanta. Di ba yung mga taba, mga mantika, sila yung mabilis umanta kasi mas mabilis silang ma-oxidize. May mga points for oxidation sila. For rancidity to develop, light, air, and free fatty acids must be present. So, kita mo, rancidity magde-develop lang kung present ang light, present ang air, at saka yung fatty acids. So, kung wala kang light, kahit na present yung fatty acids mo, hindi magde-develop ang rancidity. Kung wala ka din oxygen, hindi rin magde-develop ang rancidity. If one of these is missing, rancidity does not occur. While the entry of light and air can be prevented by the use of proper packaging materials and techniques, like vacuum packaging, free fatty acids easily form from the meat fats. That is why antioxidants are commonly used. These are compounds which react with certain intermediate products necessary for the development of free fatty acids, thus delaying the oxidation of fats. The two most common antioxidants used in the meat industry are sodium erythorate and ascorbate or ascorbic acid. So yung halimbawa wala kang mabiling sodium erythorate, yung vitamin C or ascorbic acid ay pwede mong i-replace sa sodium erythorate para mag-act as antioxidant. Para ma-prevent ang rancidity.
Wala naman siyang reaction sa taste mo?
Wala. Kasi ang liit lang ng level ng usage. Halimbawa sa isang kilong karne, 0.5 gram lang. 500 milligrams lang. So yung isang capsule ng vitamin C, good for 1 kilo ng meat.
Okay. Para ma-prevent yung rancid na lasa. Ang galing.
So, methods of meat preservation. Number 1 is salting. So, ito yung pinakalumang method of meat preservation. A simple method of dehydration. Ibig sabihin ng dehydration, natatanggal mo yung moisture. So, may ano ang salt na natatanggal niya yung moisture. In which the salt causes the withdrawal of water from the tissues of the meat and the spoilage organisms, resulting to shriveling and inactivation of the cells. So, kahit yung microorganism na kukuha ng salt yung moisture sa microorganisms, kaya hindi sila makagrow. Tapos, doon din sa product, na, di ba, pag ang dami ng asin, may drying effect, nadadry siya.
Nawawala yung dugo, nawawala yung tubig mo.
Moisture, oo. Yan.
Preservation din siya.
Oo. Number 2, hindi, ito pa. Chemical aspects of salting. The water holding capacity of meat can be increased with the addition of salt up to a concentration of about 5% in the lean meat and then decreases constantly. Kasi ang bukod dun sa sinasabi natin na preservation effect niya, ang effect ng salt sa meat processing is ini-increase niya yung water holding capacity ng product mo. Pero up to 5% lang. Beyond 5%, hindi na siya magiging effective. Useless na siya. So, hindi dapat masyadong maalat yung product din. para maganda yung kanyang water holding capacity.
Okay.
Yan. At a concentration of about 11% in the meat, the water binding capacity is back to the same level as in fresh unsalted meat. So, pag nag-11% ka na, useless na yung asin mo kung ginamit mo siya as water holder ng product mo.
Parang binder mo.
Oo, binder. Kaparis ng mga casing, 11% ang ginagamit na asin doon sa mga casing para hindi sila mag-deteriorate. Sodium chloride has only a very low capacity to destroy microorganisms. So, actually, sodium chloride or yung asin, mababa lang ang capacity niya para i-destroy yung microorganisms. Ang effect niya talaga is yung kanyang yung capability to bind water and to deprive the meat and the microorganism of moisture. Yun, tinatanggal niya yung moisture na available sa microorganisms. Kaya, nakaka-preserve siya. The water loosely bound to the protein molecules as well as the free water will be attracted by the sodium and chloride ions, causing a reduction of the water activity of the product. This means that less water will be available and the environment will be less favorable for the growth of microorganisms. Bacteria do not grow at a water activity below 0.91, which corresponds to a solution of 50 grams sodium chloride per 100 ml water. So, it is then 15%. Ang sabi niya? Or about 15% salt in the product. This explains how salt has its preservative effect. Such salt concentrations, up to 15%, are too high for palatable food. So, hindi siya masarap. Kasi sobrang alat na siya pag kanyang 15%. However, for the preservation of natural casings, this method is very useful. So, yung mga casings, ginagamit dyan, 11% to 15% salt. Kasi tinan mo yung casing, kahit isang taon siya dyan, so bumili ka ng, pag naglolongganin sa kanan, halimbawa, bumili ka ng casing ng mga imported, ibibigay sa'yo salted.
Yung
Yan, kaparis yung gagamitin natin ngayon, salted. Hindi namin nire-refrigerate yun, kahit isang taon hindi siya masisira. Kasi ang taas ng salt content. Yan. So, number 2, second method of meat preservation is curing. Curing is the application of salt, sugar, nitrites, and other preservatives and adjuncts to prolong the keeping quality of the product and produce the desirable pink color associated with cured meats. It is the nitrates that play the role in color fixation. So, yung reaction ng nitrite sa myoglobinumin meat, yun ang nagpo-produce ng pink color.